So to start, can you introduce yourself?
Sure can. I am Lynda Graham Murray, and that's spelled M-U-R-R-A-Y. I tend to speak a little quickly, so sometimes people think I say Lynda Marie, so that's why I spelled the Murray for clarification.
Absolutely. How long have you lived in Burlington or the area?
I followed a boy to Burlington. I always tell young women, don't follow the boy. Relationships change, situations change. It was my ex-husband. And at first I didn't like Burlington very much. And probably because I was transplanted here by force, not willing. But now I've grown to love it. I love the community. But so yeah, 32 years.
Oh wow, amazing. And what do you love about the community?
I love the people. The people are really genuine and they're Iowa nice. I'm a runner, so if I go running or walking and I see someone, I will wave and they'll wave back. They'll say, how are your flowers doing? They'll say, how's your dog? How's your husband? I have a connection with those people in Burlington. You're gonna laugh, but I love to go to garage sales, not for the stuff, although I am a huge bargain hunter, to have a relationship and talk to the people. And their memories are there. They're downsizing maybe, and it's just a really fun time for me. So I love the people here. I love it that I can get to any one place in 10 minutes or less. I mean, I jump in my car, 10 minutes or less, I'm at my hairstylist, my dermatologist, my doctor. I can go to my favorite restaurant. I can go get my favorite ice cream, which is Mississippi Moon. Elvis has left the building. Oh my God, that is a Sunday to die for. I tell you, it's really good. I can get to my vet. I can get to anything I need, and I've lived in larger communities before, and let me tell you, that is a huge quality of life. We don't have a lot of tornadoes here, knock on wood. We don't have tsunamis here. We don't have earthquakes here. We have some wind I could do without. I did the Ames Triathlon I was telling you last weekend, and about drowned in the swim because it's so stinking windy. So, but a lot of things to love here. When people move here, we no longer say, with kind of a tone in our voice like we've got a fur ball stuck in the back of our throat. We're like, you're moving here for work or school, and we're excited because we know that it's happening here in Burlington. We have it going on.
It's a celebration now.
It's a celebration of living here, and come join the fun, yeah.
So our project is centered around one key question: what connects us? We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of when you hear what connects us.
Well, humans are more similar than dissimilar. We are 99.9% genetically the same, so we really are more connected than dissimilar. We live on this planet, and we need to take care of it. We all drink the same water, and air, and food. So yeah, we have a lot more things that connect us than do not. And there's a common thread that people need each other in order to survive. And there's research that shows the more connections you have, human connections, you are not only healthier, your longevity is enhanced. So it really behooves us to get to know our neighbors, get to know the people at our place of worship, get to be involved in volunteerism in our community. And some examples that come to mind is the library has helped connect me. Like I told you, I didn't like Burlington very much when I first came here. I didn't know anyone except one person. And so it was very difficult for me to have a sense of belonging. And I got to know people at the library. Oh my gosh, I've taken sewing classes here and learned to sew and made connections with the people. The tech help has been astronomically phenomenal. Is that such a word? Well, it is now.
Yep.
It's huge. It means huge. No less than all the fingers on my hand, they have helped me, from Zoom technology to problems with my phone to problems with my email. So they are a godsend. Do not ever get rid of the tech help, because I sent so many people here. I took a free apple pie baking class. My children helped move the books from the old library to the new library with the wagon train. They attended Miss Debbie's wagon box classes. So I think the library can be a forceful place of connectedness for people. So they really need to tap into the library. And I used to fight, and I know it makes the people that work here angry, for hours on Sunday because I was working on my master's thesis and I needed a place to go that was quiet. But of course the library's closed on Sundays, but I always vote for library expansion, hours and staff and resources. So
Back in. How do you experience connection in your daily life?
My daily life, oh gosh, where do I start? I'm on the city council, so I feel a connectedness there every week. I swear they saved my life during COVID because you're stuck inside. You don't really get to see too many people, and I have a really small extended family. My grandfather was an only child. My father was an only child. My sister married an only. There was nobody there. She had an only. Her daughter had an only. I mean, you get the picture. We get our family together. We don't even fill one room of the house. So during COVID, it was very isolating. So once a week, we got out for council, and we met in Memorial Auditorium for social distancing. But I swear to God, that saved my life, that sense of connectedness there. My place of worship, that was very, very helpful when I was feeling lost in Burlington. That helped me feel connected. I'm a member of a book club, so we meet once a month. I'm a very bad member right now because my dad passed away, and I'm reading his collection. But I am back reading the books from the book club, so I'll join them again this next month. I'm a member of Team Beast. It stands for Burlington Endurance and Strength Training Athletes. We get together. We used to travel to different states and race, so Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, Chicago, St. Louis, and we traveled to all these different states and compete, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of good memories of that. My different jobs as a dietitian with Hy-Vee, worked at Southeastern Community College, so there's a lot of things in Burlington that helped me feel. Going down to Farmers Market, oh, this is kind of fun. One year I got to a group of volunteers together, and we gathered up produce that did not sell at the market, and I got to know the vendors, and they were very generous. And then we put it in the wagons, and my volunteers were pulling these heavy wagons of sweet corn and stuff. And then we assembled it, and then the next day on the Milestones route, these bags of produce went out to the needy seniors along with recipes on what to do with them. So that was fun. So yeah, there's lots of ways to be connected in Burlington. I'm with the Old Threshers singing groups. I'm a saloon girl. We sing and dance at Players Workshop. I've been involved there. How much time do you have? And there's lots of ways to stay connected in Burlington. The programs at the library, the free workshops they offer. So I just look forward to that. The first Fridays, those are fun. I participated on both ends as a presenter as well. The chamber trips, just got back from Portugal.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun, yeah. And there's some couples that I've got to meet over the years, and we get together, and we've met on those trips. So, yeah, lots of ways.
Absolutely wonderful. Can you share a specific moment when you felt deeply connected to someone or something?
Yes, what comes to mind is I didn't know a soul when I first moved here, other than one woman that had become a dietitian and was working at what was then Burlington Medical Center. Her name was Kathy Smith. I ran for what's called Member at Large for the Iowa Dietetic Association. I was in charge of putting together the first ever 2-day dietitian meeting for 200 plus dietitians in Altoona, Iowa of all places. Here I am, stuck in Burlington. I don't know a soul, so I called Kathy up and said, Kathy, I'm in charge of putting together this 2-day meeting. Can you help me? So, well, let's get the other dietitians together. Let's see what we can do. And we met at the cafeteria at BMC. And you know what? These people from Burlington came together for me. They came together for me. We had to hire speakers. We had to put together menus and meals. We had to do the finance. We had to put together the brochure. We had to get the hotel. We had to get continuing education units. And I wanted this to be extraordinary, not just an ordinary meeting, because I'm a firstborn. I set the bar pretty high for myself. So I wanted to bring in Wolf Rinke. He's a professional speaker. He moved here at 12 years of age, did not know a stitch of the English language. Self-taught man, now he's a multimillionaire professional presenter. And I wanted to bring him in because I truly felt that dietitians didn't need just clinical knowledge. We needed to learn how to be relatable to our clients. We needed to learn how to talk to them. We needed to learn how to inspire them, not just tell them that their iron level was low in their blood, right? Iowa Dietetic Board examiners didn't like that too much. They discredited every single one of our presenters. They said, no, we're not going to give you continuing ed for any of them. Back to the drawing board we went, and we persisted, and we got him in. We brought in Wolf Rinke, and one of his Motivational quotes is, if it's to be, it's up to me. I love that. If it's to be, it's up to me. And that was on my refrigerator for a good number of years. So we had the dietitians, who are normally a very stoic group, and we had them laughing in the aisles. We had them fist pumping, and it was a wonderful, wonderful program. We had bingo, we had photographer there, we had, oh gosh, we covered all the bases. And when it was done, I was exhausted. I mean, a sheer to the bone exhaustion, but it was one of the most rewarding things I ever did. Thank you, Burlington, for helping me pull off this feat that nobody thought we could do, and we did it.
What role do diversity and inclusion play in fostering connection?
It plays a huge role. If we can put ourselves in someone else's shoes, if we can have empathy for someone else, and often I tell people that's really important, why people should travel, because you see people that live very differently from yourself. They worship very differently. They dress very differently. They eat very different foods. As a dietitian, I think that's kind of exciting to see and try the different foods, although sometimes you can get food poisoning. So that can be an adventuresome area. Some people don't want to wander to. So it's really, really important. In the words of Dolly Parton, who's one of my favorite idols, she says, diversity is the, I've got it written here because I can't exactly remember it, sorry. We need to celebrate the diversity of the human experience. So Dolly Parton says we need to celebrate the diversity of the human experience. And I think that is so true. I have some friends and family members that don't have a lot of connections in their life. And on wellness exams, they get dinged because they don't have very many social connections. And like I said, it leads to longevity. It leads to a higher quality of life. It leads to better health parameters. Your blood pressure is better. A lot of things. Your blood cholesterol is better. Your weight is better. We need those human connections.
Absolutely.
My eyes watering there.
How do you see our community as a place where people come together?
Something that comes to mind is my son was a volunteer for the Des Moines County Humane Society, and he got his training right here in the library. Woo-hoo! And I accompanied him for that. So he was 12 years old. No, I take it back. He was 8 years old, and he was a volunteer to walk the little newborn puppies at the Bees Park. And this little dog was he was 3 pounds, and he was really tiny. He was a Chihuahua Min Pin mix. So Trenton's charge was to walk this little puppy and find him a forever home. And he goes, Mom, I don't want to find him a forever home. I said, we can't, Trenton. The house is full. We've got 2 dogs, 2 cats, a chameleon, a bearded dragon, a gecko, and a tank full of fish. The Murray household is full. We cannot take our dog. But anyway, he walked the puppy around and got to know him, and he named the puppy Chip instead of Dipstick, which was the name that they gave him at the past. Isn't that a terrible name for a dog? He had one white leg. Yeah, his name was Dipstick. So I had that week off for some reason. My sister was visiting, and we went to the shelter every single day for a week to walk this dog, because my son literally fell in love with this dog, and he would walk him over where the new fire station's going to be built, so right by the humane shelter there. So every day at 3 o'clock, Chip was walking this dog, walking this dog, walking this dog. So we show up on Friday, and they said, well, Chip isn't here today. They even started calling him Chip, because my son called him Chip so much. So we weren't concerned. They said probably a staff member took it home to see if it meshed with their dogs and their cats and their children, that kind of thing. So we come on Saturday, and the shelter director's face was ashen, and she said, Chip's been stolen. I don't understand it. She goes, I'm trying to give dogs away, and somebody steals one. And so my son Trenton was pretty brokenhearted, and I put in a Facebook post which got picked up by the newspaper, got picked up by the airwaves, and long story short, the community came together looking for this dog. There were posters on telephone poles, and somebody got rid of the dog at the ballpark, the dog park, and we ended up adopting him. And Chip is my dog now. He's awesome. He does half marathons. He's 11 now. And I was so excited about this story that I authored a book about it. And it's called Canine Caper, Solar Champion Dog. So there he is. He was such a sweet little dog. And I'm in love with him. He's like my kid. So.
Your son knew. He knew Chip was supposed to come home.
But everyone came together and made sure that that dog had a successful outcome. The director was concerned that somebody would get nervous and drop it on safely and it get hit by a car. But whoever had it, bless their heart, they put him in a safe spot. And now he's a very integral part of the Murray household. Yeah.
Is there a story, memory, or personal experience that illustrates what connection means to you?
Yes, when I was a young girl, I got to see Dolly Parton in concert. Very, very moving time for me, emotional time for me. My mother was in the hospital battling cancer, so I got to take her spot and go see Dolly Parton on stage at Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. And she has overcome so much in her life. She lived in extreme poverty, as did my mother. My mother had no indoor plumbing, she had no car, she had no telephone. Her dad died when she was 2, so left mother to raise 4 children. And Dolly's story was similar, raised in poverty. And her song, Coat of Many Colors, I always thought that was kind of neat. And that has kind of become an emblem for diversity and for equality and for creativity and for inclusion. So I've always loved that song. And hope to go to Dollywood someday and see her. But yeah, I think Dolly's pretty cool. She's overcome a lot of adversity in her life, and I have too. I've lost more jobs than I care to know, and at last count it was 50, and not a fact I'm proud of. I worked at Southeastern from a job I loved, and then continuing ed kind of lost its wheels. And I worked for Hy-Vee as a dietitian there and loved that job. And then the store director said, we're going in a new direction after they had 300 different dietitians in the state. Their corporate decision is going in a different direction. Worked for Milestones at a job I thought I'd retire from, and then those contracts were not renewed. So it's happened a lot. So I think that my story is similar in that I have to keep retooling and recreating myself.
Are there any stories you would like to share that you would like put in the archive?
So my dad, as his grandfather did, attended a country school near Dexter, Iowa. It's called Penn Number 3. So I've always been really passionate about country schools, and I wish we could get one somewhere and move it over near where the log cabin is. Because whenever the ship people come in, I said, were you going to take them to see the log cabin? And he said, no, because there's not enough there. But if we were actually almost build like a little village and put a country school there and maybe a little country shop, that would be a destination place for people on the Great River Road. So that's a vision that I have. I was so shy in high school that I set goals to speak to one person a day. And when I say one person a day, it wasn't a conversation. It was to lift my head up off of the floor and to say hello to one person in the hall. That's terrible, but that's how shy I was. I didn't speak for like the first 18 years of my life. And when I went to Iowa State, and they said, what do you want to study? The lady in comfortable shoes, and I knew she had comfortable shoes, I was looking at her feet instead of giving her eye contact. I said, well, I'm kind of interested in vitamins and minerals and their effect on the athlete, because my dad was a bike racer for Wheat Germ. Kretschminger Wheat Germ was his sponsor. And so she said, well, you want our dietetics program, to which I said, what's that? And got stuck in the dietetics program. And I learned to love it, and it's been a good career, a lot more science-based than I would have liked to take classes for. So that's kind of my upbringing a little bit. Married to Matthew Murray. I have 2 sons and a house full of dogs, 4 dogs. If you'd have told me I'd get married and have 4 dogs, I thought you were crazy, because we didn't have any growing up. But now I love them, and Chip is my favorite. So I'm very passionate about him. So learning to play the guitar, and not very good at it. So when I turned 50, I had to decide what I wanted to get for my 50th birthday, because it's kind of a milestone birthday. Do I want a guitar, or do I want to jump out of an airplane? Guitar, skydiving, guitar. So decided on the guitar. My husband goes down to Mott's downtown, buys me kind of a high-end, middle-of-the-road guitar, so I have to learn how to play it, right? For 5 years, I took lessons. For stinking 5 years, burned through all these instructors, practiced faithfully 30 minutes every day. I've heard it takes 8 years to learn to play the guitar, so maybe I need to hang with it 3 more. So anyway, my neighbor, who's a World War II vet, catches wind that I played the guitar. So he said, oh, you need to come over and play for me. Do you know this song, One Day at a Time? I'm like, no, I don't, but I'll talk to my instructor. We'll see if we can't put that together for you. So I work with my instructor for a couple months. I go over to play this song for my neighbor. Vonnie is his name. And I'm playing One Day at a Time. And halfway through the song, he starts sobbing. Big tears are coming down. And according to my husband, he's sobbing because I'm almost done singing and playing the guitar, which I'm not very good at. And his wife is alarmed, and she's like, Vonnie, what's wrong? Vonnie, what's wrong? And he goes, such good memories, such good memories. You see, when I was in World War II, we'd say, Lieutenant, what are we doing today? And then the lieutenant would say, we have no plan. We're just gonna take it one day at a time. So you see, that has always been my motto, and it has served me well for my life. And I continued playing the song. But that was even though I did such a terrible job singing and playing the guitar, it actually moved that man very much.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Do you have anything else you want to share?
Let me check. You can stop.
Yep.
I have a couple that inspire me. I do personal training for them. And they are not 51, 61, 71, 81. They are 91 and 92 years old. How cool is that? And they reside in their own home. So they hired me as a personal trainer for them. So I had to figure out how to zoom into their living room and how to videotape those Zooms. And the library was very instrumental at helping me achieve these goals. So, but they are super, super inspiring. So for 10 weeks, they bought a 10-week package. I go into their living room and I do personal training with them. So last week I was in Ames visiting my old hometown, and I called them up and I said, do you want to do your personal training session by Zoom again or in your own living room? And they said, well, of course, we want the human in-person interaction. We want you to be here at our home. So I did. Oh my gosh, we had such a good time. They are just so delightful. And I love elderly people because they've slain the dragons. They're not so concerned about what they look like and their weight. And as a dietitian, that is so refreshing. These people are about interrelations and communication and sharing their lives and their stories with you. And I just had such a wonderful time with them. So I wanted to share that with you.
Perfect. It gives you inspiration on aging.
Yes,
really.
They are successful agers, and I love that. And my son works for Grassley, and I keep complimenting him that Grassley's a successful ager. When I'm not in my 90s, I won't be able to name all the 99 counties of Iowa, much less travel to them.
Exactly.
So yeah. I just love those successful agers. I used to want to be an epidemiologist and study what gives people the genetics, the tools, and we're finding out there's a huge correlation between the social relations and longevity and diet and longevity. It is really pretty powerful stuff.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
and talking with us today.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here, so appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate the library. Woo!